This is Frankie Lynch, Saturn Girl. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, and comment below. I want to know what you think, and it helps me out with the algorithm. So, I wanted to talk just a teeny bit today because I'm gonna be gone this whole weekend, and I won't be able to make any videos. So really quickly, I wanted to talk about this because this is still an important little aspect. I mean, it's not even little. It can be a big deal sometimes. But on June 25th, we'll have Mars in Leo perfect a square to Uranus in Taurus. What does this mean for all of us, pray tell? Well, what is Mars? We've talked many times about this fellow here. Well, Mars is violence, isn't he? Fighting. Mars also rules the blood. He's hot and dry, so we see Mars associated sometimes with weather crises and diseases. What is Uranus? Uranus is surprises, typically unpleasant surprises, the unexpected, and rebellion, uprisings. The strange and unusual. I am the strange and unusual. That's from Beetlejuice, you know. That was Winona Ryder when she was a lot younger, way before Stranger Things. I mean, she's still gorgeous. She's still absolutely gorgeous, of course. It's just so funny to think about her in Beetlejuice, you know, way back when. Or Heathers. Oh my God, the movie Heathers. But we shouldn't talk about all that right now. We should not talk about the 80s. We should be looking forward into this aspect and its future consequences. So anyway, I said uprisings, the strange and unusual, the bizarre, right? Technology, the tech industry. Yeah? Uranus is also associated with the occult. So, what is a square? Well, a square is a malefic aspect, which means it's one of the unpleasant ones. I know people don't like the words good and bad and all that, but it's about quality. You know, how does it feel when your car breaks down? I mean, it's not, oh, yay, my car broke down. You know, that's what we mean by malefic. It's not pleasant. And these aspects, now, the square is the lesser of the two malefic aspects, which are the square and the opposition. And the square is in the nature of Mars. You see, it's hot in here, and I have the fan on, and it keeps blowing in my face, you know. Anyway, so it's a malefic aspect. It's in the nature of Mars, which means it represents quick conflicts. I think of it like crashes, I often talk about. And it's like cutting things off, you see? It's like, chop. So we see it associated with cleavages, right? Just like Mars. So anyway, when I say cleavages, I mean like breakups and stuff like that, like separations. So anyway, what do these two mean together in a square? We'll see eruptions of violence, war. We'll see surprise storms and weather crises. Well, hot and dry, Mars, right? And the unexpected consequences of Uranus, we often see wildfires. In fact, wildfires are currently raging through my home county, San Diego, in Southern California. And we were renowned for our wildfires and our earthquakes, but our wildfires primarily. Harmful technology, things that are hurting us. Also rivalries and showdowns. Now, what are some historic examples of these? Well, I picked ones from just last year, because the last time we had this transit, albeit different signs, was March 22nd of last year, 2022. So these events all happened within a few days of that. So within orb, I guess you could say. So first of all, fighting in Ukraine intensified as Russian soldiers surrounded the city of Mariupol? I should have learned how to say that. Mariupol? Anyway, they surrounded and basically trapped in 300,000 people. It was a very intense event. And then wildfires burned over 108,000 acres as they just tore through southwest Texas. The Louisiana governor, John Bell Edwards, had declared a state of emergency following a tornado, I guess, just ripping through New Orleans. Nolans, right? Or I guess several tornadoes blasted through Nolans suburbs. And then speaking of blood and harmful technology, microplastics were first identified in human blood around this time, right? Mars rules the blood. Uranus rules the technology like plastics, but also the observation technology. So now, traditionally, Mercury was always technology as well. So it's just Uranus sort of borrowed some of those significations. The Secretary of State, Anthony Blinken, around this time last year, well, it was March, accused Russia of war crimes in the whole in the whole Ukraine thing. And I mean, that was sort of a big deal too, because it represented another sharp divide in diplomatic relations. Now, an example from right now. Speaking of rivalries, you can't make this kind of shit up. Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg have agreed to do a cage fighting match. I mean, what is it going to be like that? Well, I don't know. I mean, I hear Zuckerberg does martial arts. I don't know what Elon does except for whine and cry about trans people. So, and, he's got a trans daughter. That's why he doesn't like us. It's because she hates him. She doesn't want anything to do with his sorry behind. Anyway, it's neither here nor there. So, well, we talked... Anyway, Elon Musk and Mark Zuckerberg. So, we'll see what happens. Cage fighting. The octagon or whatever, right? Like, 2 men enter, 1 man leaves. What was that? Welcome to Thunderdome or something? I don't remember. Again, these are 80s things. I was like, 6 or 7. Now, what does this mean for you in particular? So first of all, tensions are going to be rather high. You got to do your best to avoid stressful situations. We're all going to be a bit more volatile, a bit more inflammatory or explosive. So it's best to, number 1, pick our battles, and number 2, try to calm down and think before we act. We're all going to be a bit more impulsive, most likely. Uranus and Mars hard aspects encourage that sort of impulsiveness. So, think before you speak and act. I mean, it depends what your MO is, if you're more of a physical actor or a verbal actor, right? So, now anyway, a lot of these conflicts that could ensue may come totally out of left field, unexpected. I'm not saying, be on edge. Be calm. As much as you can. Try and relax. But we have to be ready for quick adjustments, if need be. I mean, who doesn't? When don't you? But tensions are rather high, especially right now. And very literally, there will be fire conditions in many places. So please don't litter, especially lit cigarettes. We should never litter anyway, but again, hot and dry. Martian conditions. Fireworks too, because this will be coming out of orb around July 4th, and people tend to test their wares before the holiday even happens. So again, be careful. If you're going to light fireworks, do it in an area away from brush or whatever the deal is. Like if you can do it in a paved environment, or I don't know, whatever. I don't know. I used to set off M80s when I was a kid, because we lived right next to Mexico. We could just walk across the border. It was before 9/11 and all that. And we could just walk over, buy fireworks, put them in our pockets, and just go back. And no one ever said anything. Anyway. But that's not the way it is anymore. So, watch out for fireworks. Be aware of weather reports and weather conditions. Right? Because it can get very excessively hot out. Have water on you. I mean, I don't know. Everyone always says, like, drink water, you dumb person. But, yes. It's going to be very hot and dry out. Please. Stay hydrated. And also air quality, obviously. Now, we may, like I said, all be a bit more impulsive. So, if we slow down and think, it could save us a lot of trouble. I hope that was useful stuff. I had to do this really quick because, you know, I'm going to be gone at a spiritual retreat all weekend. And it's wonderful, but it's just a lot of work. I've got like 3 of these I do a year. And it takes up like 3 to 4 days. So, wonderful, inspiring stuff. And when I'm done, I'm like, oh, I gotta make stuff. I gotta work. So, again, I hope you enjoyed this. Like the video, subscribe to my channel, please. I need people watching these videos because I need just, like another 1,200 public watch hours. Please help me out. I really could use it. Also, I do wonderful readings. All my information is below. You can email me or direct message me through whatever platform. All my social media stuff is below. I love you. And have a wonderful whatever you're having.